Which country is the best country for you to learn Spanish? Of course, I'm gonna save the best country for last here. Here's part 16, and we're gonna speak about Guatemala. My home, my favorite place in the world out of the 41 countries I have currently been to based on the time of this recording. At the time of this recording, and probably for a very long time, I live in Guatemala. Now, funny enough, once again, if you haven't gone and seen this entire series, I highly recommend it, especially because you're watching this and you want to learn Spanish. Guatemalan Spanish is the most neutral across Spanish-speaking countries. Guatemala is known for around the country having very affordable and fun Spanish schools. They also have homestays where you can go and live with a Guatemalan family for a week or 2 weeks at a time. And within what you are paying for those schools, while it's just a private tutor, you also get those home-cooked meals and you get an authentic type of experience there. Guatemala has 28 languages total in the country. 23 of them are at a place called Lake Atitlan. And in Lake Atitlan, you can go to one small town or village, and you can go to another one adjacent, and they may or may not speak the same indigenous language. And so the lingua franca is Spanish there. A lot of my time in Guatemala, I speak faster than a lot of the locals. I'm speaking my third language with them in Spanish. It might be their third language as well, because they might speak Quechua, Tutzajil, Spanish. Right there, there's 3. Staying on topic about the Spanish specifically and why I would or would not recommend coming here. Chapin or Chapinas is the local way of calling Guatemalans, or Guatemaltecas as well. Guatemala City is not a place that I like to go to, and I only go there to renew my visa. There are some zonas that are very beautiful there as well. The people there are more fresa. That's basically just saying cold. It's kind of like that in most big cities in a lot of countries, right? But that being said, I don't enjoy that place. Antigua is a great place. It's smaller, 50,000 or so people, and then Lake Atitlan is an absurd place, no matter where you go around there. And then it's really funny, I feel more Mexican. I've almost gotten into a fight in Antigua before because I said on the way to someone. This dude was from Guatemala City. Again, going to talk what I said about being more fresa or just colder. He said like, hey, I'm not Mexican, better not fucking tell me that. He said that in English too. His English was quite good. Luckily, I was in a pretty good mood that night, and I didn't want to get upset. And luckily, I was very emotionally centered. And him and I became like friends or just like acquaintances and stuff. And I enjoyed that dude. And we had a really good talk because basically, again, I'm a foreigner speaking about this, but then again, I've lived in both countries and I love both countries. And so like Mexico and Guatemala have, again, not always, this is a stereotype. And so there's tension there as well. And so a lot of Mexicans really don't like Guatemalans, and a lot of Guatemalans really don't like Mexicans. And when a white boy like me comes into Guatemala sounding Mexican, I understand why they can get upset. Is that rational for them to get upset? Not necessarily. That's a whole other topic though. And so things like way, Mexican slang for dude, they can perceive it as offensively as the N-word as well. And so there's things to just be careful with that when coming to Guatemala. I obviously cannot recommend this country enough. It is my favorite country alongside Japan out of the 41 countries I have currently been to. And linguistically speaking though, I learned Spanish how I did. I learned it in Spain, and then I perfected it in Mexico and now live in Guatemala. Those were my choices. Again, if people say, what do you recommend? Well, this is why I did this whole series, for you to see why it's okay to learn a certain type of Spanish, or why it may or may not be as challenging or more fruitful. Guatemalan expressions are great too. I can't say enough good things about this country, and then there's the language there too. Again, I do sometimes get into like things because my Spanish is Mexican. My heart is Mexican. My soul is Mexican. That's the choice that I made. My arm is Spanish, but my home is Guatemala. And I have a lot of privilege and blessings to be able to live that life like that. And what about you guys?